Hi, this is Matt with AppliancePartsPros.com. Today we'll be showing you how to repair your appliance. Remember, anytime you work on an appliance, make sure it's unplugged or the circuit breakers are off so there's no chance of electrocution. In this video, we're going to show you how to change out the Maytag dryer idler spring. It's going to be a very easy repair and it should only take a few minutes to show you how to do it. If you already have one of these, great. If not, you can click on the link below or get it at AppliancePartsPros.com. When you open up the package, you're going to get the plug and the new idler spring. The idler spring is located down by the idler pulley. The main reason to be changing it out is if it's broken and it's not putting tension on the belt and the drum won't turn. In order to get to the part, we have to open up the dryer door. Now that we have the door open, we can use our Phillips screwdriver to remove the two screws that hold it onto the frame. Once you have both screws out, you can lift up on the door a little bit and then pull the hinges out so you can set it aside. Now that we have the door out of the way, we can take off the two screws on the other side that hold the panel on and the brackets in place. Now we can take the front panel off. We're going to grab each side right here and pull so we release the little tabs. Once you have the front panel released, you can pull it away from the dryer a little bit and lift it off the mounting brackets. With the front panel out of the way, we can use our 5/16 nut driver and remove the screws that hold these brackets in. There's one on each side. Once we have them out, we can lift the top up. Once you have the screw out, you can take the bracket and turn it towards the outside of the machine and then pull it down and out. With the brackets out of the way, we can lift the top up and let it rest on its supports. Now we're going to use our 5/16 nut driver and take out the nuts that hold the front panel on. There's one that has a cutout, that's what holds the bulkhead on, so we're going to leave those in and take the four out that actually hold the front on. Once you have the four screws out, we can remove this front panel and take the wires off the door switch and the light bulb socket. All you have to do is lift the front panel off and then we're going to rotate it over so we have access to the door switch. You can use a small screwdriver to help pop them off. You want to remember where they go. On the top one here, it's a double yellow. The middle one is a gray. And the one on the bottom is the white. Once you have those disconnected, you can set the panel aside. Once you have the wires disconnected from the door switch, we can take them off the light bulb socket. All you have to do is follow the blue and gray wire up and disconnect them from the socket. Remember, the gray one was on the top and the blue one was on the bottom. Once you have them disconnected, we're going to take the wires out of this little wire harness retainer and feed these wires back down behind the bulkhead and get them out of the way. To take the bulkhead off, we're going to take out the last two screws with our 5/16 nut driver. Once you have the screws out, you want to be careful that the bulkhead doesn't fall out, so hold it there until you're ready. Then you can just reach in and lift it out. Once you have it out, you can set it aside. Now that we have the bulkhead off, we can reach in and take the belt off. We're going to reach in on each side of the blower housing and grab the idler pulley and pull it towards the left side of the dryer to create some slack in the belt so we can take it off the pulleys. Now we can use the belt to lift the drum out of the dryer. All we have to do is guide it out these little cutouts and set it aside. With the drum out of the way, we can take the spring off the idler pulley. We're going to have to lift up on the idler pulley and grab the spring right here and then get the end of the spring out of the bracket. So we're going to have to grab it and stretch it out a little bit more and then let go of the idler a little bit and angle it off the bracket. Once you have it off, you can let go of it and we can unhook the bottom from the bottom of the dryer. Once you have the bottom unhooked, you can pull it out of the dryer. Here's the old idler spring next to the new one. If you already have one of these, great. If not, you can get it at appliancepartspros.com. If you look at the end of the old one, you'll see that there's a little rubber bushing in there. So before we put it in the dryer, we're going to put the little bushing in the end of it. Make sure you put it on the end that's kind of angled. That's the end that goes into the floor of the dryer. So all you have to do is compress it and push it down inside. Once you get it started, you can take a small screwdriver, and it doesn't have to go too far up, maybe a 1/4 of an inch into the new spring. Once you have it in place, we can put the new idler spring in the dryer. To put the new idler spring in, we're going to lift the idler out of the way again and get down here and hook it through the bushing in the bottom of the floor. And then same as when we took it off, we're going to have to stretch it out a little bit. Once you have it stretched out, you can hook it through the idler pulley bracket. Once you have both ends hooked up, you can carefully release the idler pulley so it doesn't snap back, and then we can put the dryer back together. To put the dryer drum back in, we're going to lift it up by the belt, same as when we took it out, and set the back half onto the support rollers. Then we can let go of the belt. You want to make sure that when you put the belt on, that the ribs go towards the drum. Once you have it in position, we can go underneath and hook up the idler pulley. We're going to reach in just like we did before and pull the idler pulley over to the left and route the belt around the pulleys. To put the bulkhead back on, you want to make sure that the blower housing seal goes on there properly, and then you can lift it up. And you're going to have to lift the drum up a little bit to make sure it goes up onto the glides. Once you have it in place, we can line up the screw holes and use our 5/16 nut driver to put the screws in. With the bulkhead back in place, we can grab the wiring harness from down below, and we're going to route it the same way it was before. We're going to go behind the bulkhead and then come up and over into the clip. Once you have it in the clip, we can reconnect the two wires. They're different sizes, so you can't mix them up, but the blue one was on the bottom and the gray one was on the top. Now we can put this front panel on. We're going to hook up the door switch first. Remember, the white wire was on the bottom, the gray was in the middle, and the double yellow was on the top. Once you have the switch reconnected, we can rotate this panel over and put it onto the cabinet. Now that you have the front panel on, we can use our 5/16 nut driver and put the screws in that hold everything together. To put the top down, all you have to do is grab it and lower it down. You want to make sure that these aligning pins go into the openings in the cabinet. Once you have the top lowered down, you want to push it down all the way so it's all the way down and lined up so we can put the brackets in that hold it to the cabinet. To put the brackets in, we're going to put it into the slot in the top and then rotate it over and push it onto this little clip right here. Once you have it in place, we can use our 5/16 nut driver to put the screw in. Once you have this one on, we can do the one on the other side. With the top secured, we can put the front panel on. To put the front panel on, we're going to set it down onto the support brackets. Once you have it on there, you can rotate it up and make sure that these little clips right here go into the holes, and then you can push it on. Once you have the front panel back on, we can put on the screws in the covers and then the door. To put the door back on, you want to make sure that the hinges are open and the tabs are out. And you have to put the tabs into the two holes, top and bottom. Once you have the lower one in, then we can line the upper one up and put those in. Once you have them both in, you can push down on the door to line up the screw holes, and then we can use our Phillips screwdriver to put the screws back in. Once you have both screws in, you can close the dryer door, plug the dryer back in, and take it for a spin. Thanks for joining us for another successful repair brought to you by AppliancePartsPros.com. Check out our other repair videos on our site, Facebook, and YouTube.